Okay, well, welcome everyone. We'll go ahead and get started. Thanks so much for being here. This is such an exciting day for me personally, and I think for the Colorado legal community generally. This is really the culmination of a 3-year project to build Colorado's first pro bono portal. And so we're excited to have that underway. Just a little background for those of you who may be new to the Succession to Service program. My name is Ryan Payton. I'm the director of the Colorado Attorney Mentoring Program and one of the co-founders of Succession to Service, which started out as an idea about 3 years ago, where we were looking to figure out how we could engage Colorado lawyers in pro bono work in a more meaningful way. And so together with my office, the Colorado Bar Association, and Metro Volunteer Lawyers, we did a number of focus groups, a lot of research, hours of research, and many meetings to strategize what this could look like, and ultimately came up with the idea of the Succession to Service platform. We launched a pilot program in February of 2020, right before COVID hit. Not the best timing, but we were able to launch. And in that first year, with the Succession to Service platform, where we were able to connect Colorado's legal service organizations with lawyers looking for pro bono opportunities, connect them directly to one another. We were able to do that very successfully. We worked with over 20 legal service providers, and ultimately were able to generate close to 300 hours of pro bono work. So we're very excited about how that pilot went. And because of that success, we are now able to partner with Paladin, who you'll hear from later on today, learn more about. But we're partnering with Paladin to really scale this program so that we can become Colorado's statewide pro bono portal. And that's what we're relaunching today. And so excited to be here and to have you all here to support us in this launch. We have a number of folks with us today to speak about Colorado's access to justice goals and missions, and they've all been so actively engaged. These are your access to justice champions, and we're so glad to have them here today to share their thoughts with us and to help you all get to know why this is important, why having a portal like this in Colorado is a game changer. And so we're pleased to have them. And then we'll wrap up our time today with Paladin, walking through the new site, what that looks like. It's live now, and how you can get engaged. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Justice Melissa Hart from the Colorado Supreme Court, who will share some opening remarks with us. Justice Hart, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ryan. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I am, like you, so excited about this partnership and about Succession to Service generally. There are lots of different things that one could say about access to justice and about why this is an important partnership. As I try to think about what I could add in some brief introductory remarks, I wanted to focus on 4 things that I thought made this particularly exciting. I'm sure there are more than 4, but 4 that came to my mind as I was thinking about it over the past week. So first I'll share, and I don't want to I hope I'm not stepping too much on the toes of the next speakers, who are the executive director and the chair of the Access to Justice Commission. But over the past several months, since March, the commission has been touring the state of Colorado, doing a statewide listen and learn tour to try to talk to community members all over the state about the access to justice challenges that they're facing in their different communities. We I guess, took advantage of what might be seen as a silver lining of the pandemic, that all kinds of tours had to happen remotely, to really be able to reach out everywhere. So in the past, 5 months, 6 months, we have visited at this point 18 of the 22 judicial districts. And because we were virtual, we were able to talk to people in many different places within a judicial district. So lots of our judicial districts are huge, but because we were meeting virtually, we could talk to people in many remote locations within those districts. And we talked to people both in the court system and also community service providers who are working with folks who are trying to access the civil justice system. And we learned a lot, and we're going to be talking more about what we learned. But what's really important here is, I would say, one of the top line things that we learned is that the shortage of lawyers to provide legal advice is a pandemic of its own, particularly, really all over Colorado, but particularly in rural communities, which is a lot of our state, and that people are really hungry for some help, and we need to figure out ways to provide that help. The other thing we learned that, to me at least, was sort of surprising, it countered an assumption I had been making for a long time. When something challenging, you know that you've happened on something important, is that lots of people felt that legal advice from someone from a different location, legal advice provided remotely from somewhere else, would be as valuable or close to as valuable as legal advice provided by a community member directly. And so having learned that and now sort of thinking about how to operationalize that makes me particularly excited about this project, because I spent a little time on the website just this morning, I'll admit, on the Succession to Service website, and it really fronts this possibility of remote service provision, provision of legal advice. And I think that the fact that Succession to Service and Paladin's platforms front and centers that is just a huge, important step in addressing what's clearly one of the most important challenges that we face. The second thing that I want to mention is that many of us in the access to justice community have recognized that technology can be harnessed to close the justice gap. But a lot of us, and I'll confess I'm in this big mass, are sufficiently technology anxious that we haven't really taken the next step to look at implementing that understanding. We know that technology could be helpful, but we haven't operationalized it. So the fact that this is doing that is really exciting. And I feel like it will be a step in helping people like me, and I think there are a lot of us out here, sort of over the hump to try to really start thinking more about what technology can do. The third thing I want to note, I feel so excited about, is that Succession to Service really tries to reach out, as you'll see when you look at the website, to lawyers, and I use that term loosely, at every stage of their career. So starting with law students, going through practicing attorneys, and then retired attorneys who might be looking for opportunities to use their skills when they're no longer practicing actively. And it recognizes, I think that outreach recognizes that it's going to take all of us to close the justice gap, that this is not, you really have to look everywhere you can find help to work on this important project. And fourth, and this, I guess, is particularly for me, sitting where I do on the Colorado Supreme Court, made me really happy when I was looking at the website, is that the website, one of the things I've reflected on a lot, and I've talked to some of you I can see are here about this challenge, is that the Colorado Supreme Court, from a time long before I had joined the court, and in a really pretty forward-looking way, has done a whole bunch to change the rules that govern the practice of law to try to make provision of legal services to folks who can't afford full representation, who can't afford to pay what the market rate for lawyers. We've done a lot, the court has done a lot to try to change the rules to make that more possible. But as those of you, I see Dan Taubman on the call, Judge Taubman has been championing this for years, traveling around the state with the Unbundled Roadshow, trying to convince people, do this. This is, our rules permit you to provide unbundled legal services, or rules that permit inactive attorneys. So an attorney who maybe has retired and has gone inactive to provide pro bono services, or attorneys from outside of Colorado to get special provision to provide pro bono services. The site really specifically focuses on the fact that there are these other tools out there. They've been out there for a long time, but they haven't been used as well as they could be. And I think that also is an exciting piece of what this project realizes and seeks to supercharge. And so as I look at it, and I look at the passion that I know is out there, again, not just because of all the folks who are here on this call, but because of all the folks who are trying every day to close the justice gap in Colorado, I think this project is an example of something that will harness that energy and really move us forward. And I'm so thrilled to be part of this community and to be part of this launch. And with that, I will get out of the way and let the people who actually know something talk about what we're going to look at. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Justice Hart, for those words. I couldn't agree more with everything that you said. And that's part of what I love about this site. It's the collaborative opportunity we all have in Colorado to close this justice gap, to get behind all of the many things that are happening in this area of work, and really cheerlead and support each other in doing that. So thank you for being here, and thank you so much for your words. Next, I'm going to turn it over to some representatives from the Colorado Access to Justice Commission, who are going to tell you a little bit about what their organization does and how they, really see a portal like this working collaboratively with their work to, like Justice Hart said, really close that justice gap. So let me introduce Elisa Overall, or Emo, who is the Executive Director of the Colorado Access to Justice Commission, and then Dick Gast, who is the Chair of the Colorado Access to Justice Commission. So Emo and Dick, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Ryan. I'll go ahead and kick it off here and hope everybody can hear me. As Ryan mentioned, I'm Dick Gast. I'm in Salida, and I'm the chair of the Colorado Access to Justice Commission. I'm going to touch first on the importance of pro bono in Colorado, and then turn it over to Emo to talk a little bit more about the role of the Access to Justice Commission in our state. First, I did want to say thanks to Ryan for being such a champion for access to justice, and for her vision in crafting the partnership with Paladin to launch this new pro bono portal site. It is exciting, and we're delighted to be part of that. Pro bono is really a vital piece of our access to justice continuum of services. On one end of that continuum, we have information. We have numerous websites and the hardworking Sherlocks, the self-represented litigant coordinators in courthouses around the state that do a great job of providing legal information. And for some folks, information is all they need to solve a legal problem. But others need more than information to navigate our civil justice system. They may need legal advice, such as that offered in pro bono clinics, or for the more serious cases, actual legal representation. Simply put, some people can't get a fair shot at justice without having an attorney by their side. And there's nothing like the experience of handling a few pro bono cases to drive that message home. I'm going to spin a personal yarn here. A number of years ago, when I was still practicing in Fort Collins, I accepted a pro bono case from our local bar association's pro bono program. My client was a single woman living in a rented house in the foothills west of town. She was an itinerant artist, kind of sporadically employed, and had fallen behind on her rent payments in the middle of a really cold winter. And rather than post any sort of notice required by the unlawful detainer statute, the landlord just removed the portable propane tank providing heat to her house. So she was unable to live in the house. She went to spend the night with a friend. And when she returned the following day to retrieve her personal belongings, she found they were gone. The landlord had already loaded all her possessions into his truck and taken them to the Salvation Army. So my client was out of her house, and she went down to the Salvation Army. She was also unable to retrieve her belongings from there. So faced with all of this, there's really no way she was equipped on a pro se basis to work her way through the procedural complexities of our court system. So I filed suit for the wrongful eviction and conversion of my client's personal property. Sure enough, the case went to trial. My client had a pretty difficult personality that couldn't be sugar-coated for the judge, but fortunately, we had both the facts and the law on our side, and we were able to obtain a judgment against the landlord for the value of her lost possessions, together with punitive damages, one of the very few times I've ever been able to obtain punitive damages. Even better, the landlord was solvent, and he wound up paying the judgment amount to my client. A wrong had been righted, justice was served, and I received from my client a small watercolor painting of a tree in the forest, and it has a note from her on the back that says, "A tree can stand alone, but sometimes a person just needs a good lawyer." I got such a kick out of that. So pro bono work, benefits the clients, it benefits our legal system, but it's also incredibly rewarding for the lawyers doing that work. Let me turn it over now to Emo, our executive director.
That's a great story, Dick. And you really do have the painting. I thought maybe it was at the bottom of a box or something in the garage. Hi, everybody. My name is Emo, and I am the newly hired executive director to the Colorado Access to Justice Commission, a commission that's been around for 18 years and just recently was able to get enough money to hire an ED. So that ED is me. And I don't have very much to say, although there's lots that I could talk about because there's more exciting things to discuss, which is this website launch. But I want to encourage all of you to, and I know this isn't very popular, but I want to encourage you all to turn your videos on, and I'll tell you why. One of the roles of the Access to Justice Commission, and one of my roles, is to help create the connective tissue between all of you who are doing work that supports and reinforces one another. And so the first part of that is connection. I've been connecting with a lot of you. I see a lot of familiar faces. For those who I don't know yet, I'm going to put my email in the chat, because all of us, we all have something really special in common. Hi. We all have something really special in common, which is that we're trying to help. So let's all connect. Let's all be here together. And thank you so much, Ryan, and the many of you that have worked on this. This is extremely, extremely exciting.
Thank you so much, Emo, and thank you, Dick. I love that story, and that painting is amazing. So thank you both for the work that you do with the Colorado Access to Justice Commission and for being such an important partner to us as we've relaunched this site and leaned on you to help us get the word out to your communities and your networks. I do recommend, for anyone who doesn't or isn't familiar with the Colorado Access to Justice Commission, to contact Emo and get engaged. There's lots of ways to participate, so please do that. The next folks up are two folks who have been involved in this process since the beginning. Those hours of strategy meetings and research focus groups I talked about earlier. Kathleen Shane and Tony Ann Nunez were part of those meetings and worked with us to get Succession to Service off the ground initially. And so I'm going to turn it over to them to talk a little bit from the LSO perspective as to the importance of a portal like this. And Kath is going to talk a little bit about how this type of a portal can help us to reach our legal deserts here in Colorado. So Kath and Tony Ann, I'll turn it over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and we are so excited to be here. I am Tony Ann Nunez. I am the director of Metro Volunteer Lawyers, which is the Denver Bar Association's pro bono program. And shout out to Ryan. I think she is very humble. She really has done a lot of time and energy and love into this project. And I have to also do a shout out to Lauren Lester, who worked behind the scenes creating that website 3 years ago when we started doing this. And we are not in this alone. This has been a collaborative effort with the CBA, the GBA, with all of our local partners, with CLS, with CTC, with hours of just looking to see how we can best serve the community. So that's kind of why I'm here, is to say we are all champions. We have all worked for years looking at these issues. The bottom line is we need to serve people who need our help. And so thank you, Dick, for that great story, because I think storytelling is a good part of what we do. I'm not going to tell a story, except to say that this platform is a fantastic way for us to work together as a community. And I know a lot of you on this call are doing great work in the trenches, helping people who really need help. And I applaud you for continuing to do that work. And I also know, as a legal service provider, that our biggest challenge will always remain that of recruitment. All of us sit here and hunt and beg and plead and coerce and bribe attorneys to please come help us serve our clients that need our assistance. And we are really hopeful that, we worked with this as the Justice Access Commission. We worked together with community partners to find a space, a place, a portal where we could go to recruit attorneys. And that's what this is. Let's cut through all the rest of it. This is a way for us as providers to put opportunities up on the website and for others to go get it. So I'm sure that when you see the website launch today and you go look at it, you'll see there's a whole lot of NVL on there, because I really believe in this process, and our staff believes that we can use this as a great way to reach people that need our help. It's such an easy site to use. It is so easy to post opportunities. And I'm going to say, we met with Paladin, our staff did, and did a training free of charge. And they came in and spent an hour with us talking about our needs and what we wanted and how we could do it. We can create a posting for a clinic that's happening next week, or what they call more of the evergreen postings, which is a posting that says, we're always going to need attorneys in these specific areas, or we're always going to have a power of attorney clinic on these days. So it really is a great place to aggregate opportunity. And that's what we need to focus on. A big shout out to them. Volunteers who take things off this site do not have to create an account. Because I know, and you know, that attorneys may be reluctant to sign up for something. They can go on, pick something that they want to help with, and then the provider reaches out to them and connects with them that way. So really, I just want to really encourage all of you, go up there, post as many things as you can as legal service providers, individual asks, long-term asks, evergreen asks, just so that we can get this site to move. It will only work if we get our community involved, and if everyone does their part to get the community involved to truly help those most in need. So that's all I have to say. Thank you. And I know Kath's going to talk more specifically about our Greater Colorado need.
Right. Thank you. Whoops. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, good. I'm not seeing myself, so that's why. Okay. Yes, I'm going to talk about legal deserts. And I am the Director of Local Bar Relations and Access to Justice for the Denver and Colorado Bar Associations, and been involved in this area for a long time. But legal deserts are those areas of the state in Greater Colorado that has very little representation, either for many, many reasons. But to illustrate how this platform will help, let's think, I am going to do a story. Let's picture yourself as someone in Greater Colorado where there's few attorneys and you're facing eviction. And the attorneys in the state either work for the government in your area, either work for the government, they represent the landlords, or they're overwhelmed family law attorneys. So there's no one really there that can help you with this eviction. You hear about this program, this legal services program, whether it's CLS, pro bono program, whatever, or through the Bar Association. You hear about a program that has a call-in type clinic, and you contact that program, and an attorney walks you through the process. They talk about not only the eviction process, but the nuances of that jurisdiction. They connect you with Department of Local Affairs that has rental assistance. They then connect you they give you other information about resources. And you walk away, you may not win your eviction case, but you walk away at least feeling that you were heard. Now picture yourself as the attorney. The attorney who found this opportunity on this site, on this succession to service site. You received training from the local pro bono program or the local legal services program on what it's like with evictions in that area. You got a CLE credit, and you spent 1 hour of your time, not even leaving your office, talking to this person, and you felt really good after it was over with. You don't know what will happen, but you do know that you gave the person some good information. Now, picture yourself as a legal services organization who actually put this information on this site, was able to connect the attorney and the renter, and was able to provide local specific information about what it's like to work in the eviction area in that jurisdiction. As we all know, every jurisdiction is slightly different, but that legal service provider knows and understands that and can provide that training. So my basic takeaway is I really encourage attorneys who are looking for opportunities, or and legal services providers to actually, as Tony Ann said, use this site. Let's collaborate. Let's figure out how we work to provide legal services across this state. So I encourage you to do so. And thanks, Ryan. This is a great project. Take care.
Thanks so much, Kath and Tony Ann, not only for your support today, but your support of the last 3 years. We would not be here today without the diligence and tenacity that you both put into this project. And Tony Ann, I appreciate you calling out Lauren Lester, who I know is on this call. Lauren did build the initial Succession to Service website, and it is a fantastic site, and her web development and legal skills are top notch. So thank you, Lauren. All right, well, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. I'm going to turn it over to Alana Fleming from Paladin to walk us through the new site. So she's going to walk us through it, let you know how to get involved, whether you are an LSO or a lawyer. And after the walkthrough, we'll have time for any questions that folks may have and how you can get engaged. So Alana, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Ryan, and thank you to everyone who spoke so wonderfully and so powerfully. It's really thrilling to be here, and I speak on behalf of the entire Paladin team when I say we are all so excited to be partnering with Succession to Service, with the legal community and the Access to Justice community in Colorado to launch this product. So I'm Ilana Fleming. I'm the Director of Customer Success at Paladin, and it's really been my pleasure to work with Ryan over the past few months to launch this statewide portal. I want to extend a big thank you to her for all of her hard work. And I know so many legal service providers in the state who are doing this work day in and day out. And we're just really excited to be bringing this resource that I hope will be useful and just help to, as folks have said, close the justice gap, connect attorneys with clients in need. That is our mission at Paladin. We are an access to justice legal tech company. So that's really what we're focused on all the time is just connecting more attorneys with more pro bono clients who need their help, making it easy, making it efficient, and also hopefully exposing folks to the range of ways that we as attorneys can help beyond maybe what we think we can do. There are so many clients in need. There are so many ways that as attorneys, our skills and knowledge are extremely valuable to pro bono clients. And so regardless of your background, your expertise, your practice area, where you work, even your time availability, there is something that you can do as an attorney to help somebody who otherwise would not have access to the civil justice system. So we're really thrilled to be a part of this project. Sorry. I will share my screen and take you through a quick walkthrough of the site, and then happy to answer any technical questions about how the site works, how to find opportunities, and all of that. And I'm sure Ryan can also talk about the more of the how to get onto the site as a legal service organization, opportunities, and participating as a volunteer as well. So I will share my screen. Okay. So this is the site. If you haven't seen it already, it's live. You can go visit it now. You can start browsing. This is a public site. It is available to anybody. It is always available. So you can come here anytime and check out what's listed. This is sort of the homepage of the site. So when you initially visit, you will come here. You'll see these boxes. If you scroll further down, you will see a lot of different categories. And as I mentioned, the goal is really to make it easier and more efficient for folks to zero in on what they may be looking for, what they may be interested in, what they're able to do, whether that's based on their role or their time availability or their practice area. So there's a lot of ways to sort of narrow down the opportunities that are available to you. And the goal of the site is to centralize all of that in one place. So I'm not combing through my inbox. I'm not having to email somebody. I can just come. What's available to me as an attorney in Colorado to do pro bono work? And it's going to show me a whole range of options. if I know this can be a concern for some folks at legal service organizations, if people come here looking for representation, not looking for pro bono work to do, we have a little link here for them that says looking for legal assistance. Click here, and that will take them to Colorado Legal Services. So hopefully we're redirecting anybody who's coming looking for representation rather than looking for an opportunity. And then one other link I'll show you before we dive in is just that there is this one box here that says new to pro bono, start here. So maybe I'm a law student, maybe I'm a newly admitted attorney, maybe I've just never really engaged in pro bono work before. So if you click on that box, it will just give you a nice overview, very provided all by Ryan in Succession to Service, that will just give you kind of a background on how do I do pro bono work? What does it mean? Why do it? And some more resources on that. So for folks who may be new to pro bono, they can have a little bit of, a little bit of a guide getting in. But otherwise, folks can come to the site and sort of browse freely. Feel free to take a look around, see what other legal service organizations are doing, see what's available. You can click on any of these boxes and it will take you to all of the opportunities that exist in that category. So if I'm a law student, I might want to click on law student opportunities and see what can I do. And then you can also scroll down and see all of these many, many categories, and more may be added as more opportunities are added. So you will see this list grow as well. So for example, let's say that I have done some housing pro bono work before and I'm interested in taking on another housing case, or maybe I've never done it before, but I know there's a lot of need in housing. So I'm interested in this type of work. I just click on the housing tag and it will sort from all the available opportunities. It will narrow it down to just housing. So it acts as a filter for me. Now I can see 4 results that have been tagged as housing. Does not matter which LSO is referring this project or who manages it. It's just going based off the fact that the housing, it's falling into the housing category. So you can see opportunities from multiple different organizations at the same time. So let's say that I'm interested in a website review and update. That sounds interesting. I click on that opportunity and you just click on the title to go into it. This is the listing page. So each opportunity will have its own listing page with information that's been provided by the referring organization. So I've got some description of what is this project. And as you can see, not all projects will be straightforward pro bono matters representation. It may be a clinic. It may be something like this that's more support for the organization. It may be representation. So it could really be a range, whatever the organization needs help in, they can post. So they want me to update some frequently asked questions on their website. So maybe I can say, oh, I know housing law. I'll write that housing section. And there's also some more information on this page that may be useful to me, a little bit about the organization. Why might I want to work with them? Some information about who should volunteer. So this is an attorney opportunity. I can do it remotely. That's great. And it's appropriate for a retired lawyer. So also good to know. What's the time commitment? So I know if I can fit this into my schedule. We find that for potential pro bono volunteers, that's very important information. And then is there any training and support? I don't know if I can go into this by myself, maybe I need some help. So that will be noted here. Maybe I can have a mentor assigned through the staff, or maybe I'll be working hand in hand with somebody on staff, or maybe there's a training I have to complete first. So that would all be noted here. So I know, can I take this on? Am I going to have the resources I need? Any skills I might acquire by taking on this opportunity, anything I might learn, and then any skills or resources required, so any particular background, any particular expertise in a particular practice area, particular statute, litigation experience, anything like that might be noted here. And then the location. So this is all designed to help me identify if this is an opportunity that's aligned well for me. Is this something that I can do, that I'm interested in doing? And then if I look at all of that and I say, yes, this sounds perfect, this is exactly what I was looking for, I just click express interest. That will open up a form that I fill out with some basic information, and not all of these fields are required. So you can kind of fill in what applies: your name, your email address, your phone number, your location, your employer, your bar number if applicable, languages, and you can add more. And then a message that you could put in anything you want. Hi, I'm interested in doing this because I've worked on housing cases in the past, whatever seems relevant that you would like this organization to know. You click express interest and it will put all of the information that you've put in that form into an email, and the email will be sent to you and to the contact person at Colorado Legal Services. So whoever's in charge of this project at CLS will get an email. You'll be copied on that email and it will say, so-and-so is interested in the website review and update project with your message and your information. And then you can correspond back and forth. Hey, what else do I need to know? How do I get trained? Here's more about my experience. Here's some questions I had about this. Get conflicts information, anything like that. So it will put you right in touch with the legal service organization that referred the project. And then you can talk directly about all of the next steps. So let's say that I go back to the homepage and I want to search a different way. So instead of searching by a practice area or sort of a client type, you can also search by other factors like who am I? Am I a law student? Am I a legal professional? Am I retired? Do I need to be remote? Or my availability or what type of opportunity I want to do. So like if I'm a litigator, I might want to look at litigation if that's something I specifically do. So I'll also look at fixed time commitment. Let's say I only have a few hours, but I'd really like to do something. I don't know that I can take on a full matter, but I'd really like to help. So I click on fixed time commitment. This may skew more towards like clinics or advice, hotline shifts, things that you can tell me it's going to be a certain number of hours, probably a limited number of hours. So let's say that I click on Family Law Unbundled for Metro Volunteer Lawyers. So again, it's telling me a little bit about what the opportunity is, what kind of work will I do, how does it work, who is impacted, what kind of law am I practicing here, a little bit about the organization. And then down the side, just some more details about the opportunity. So this is an attorney opportunity, it's fixed time commitment under 5 hours. Okay, so I can fit that into my schedule. That's great. Some great skills I may acquire. It does require family law experience. So I know now, is this right for me? And I can assess that alignment and the location. This is a little bit different because as you see, it's at a specific time and date. So instead of the big button that says express interest, it says I'd like to attend, since I'll be signing up for a specific occurrence, a specific event, rather than expressing interest in a matter or a project. It works exactly the same way. It will just look different. And you may see a series of events on one listing. So like maybe it's a clinic that happens every week or every month. You could sign up for multiple shifts on the same page, or you could just sign up for one shift out of a series, but it works exactly the same way. If I click I'd like to attend, it's going to open up that same form. I fill out the form, express interest, and it will send that email to me and to the referrer confirming I've signed up for this shift and here's my information. And then we can talk about whatever next steps, exchange any information that we might need to exchange. So you can see if you go to the database that there's a whole bunch of opportunities. There's different ways to sort through. You could sort by relevance. You could sort by recently added, see what's the newest, maybe what's changed since last time I visited the site. You can sort by upcoming events, which will show you like, are there clinics coming up or are there CLEs coming up or anything that, you know, maybe I want to sign up for that's happening soon. And you can just also kind of scroll through. You definitely don't have to filter by category. You can kind of just scroll through and look at everything if you'd like to. And again, it will collect all the opportunities from all different referring organizations so you can get a sense of what's available throughout the community. And you can look at anything that you'd like, just click on the title and it will take you to that listing page where you can express interest. And as I said, this is a real-time site. The legal service organizations add the opportunities directly, as many of you on this call probably know and have done. So new organizations may be onboarding, new opportunities will be coming, so you can come back anytime. The site's available 24/7, see what's new. You can see what's new maybe from organizations you've worked with in the past, see what organizations you haven't worked with that you may want to work with, and see, of course, a variety of opportunities that can fit any background, any schedule, and any experience level. So I really hope that this will be a resource for the legal community. We are so excited to be embarking on this project together. And of course, we're always here as a resource to support this work, and really excited about the potential to connect more attorneys in Colorado with folks who need them. I'm happy to answer any technical questions about the site. And Ryan, if there's anything that you wanted to add as well.
Would you chat a little bit about the training that Paladin offers to LSOs as they onboard?
Yes, of course. Thank you. We are here for all your technical support and training and onboarding needs. As somebody mentioned, all of Paladin's tools are free for legal service organizations, and of course, free for pro bono volunteers as well. So there's no cost to use the site or to list your opportunities on the site. If you may have received an invitation from Ryan to onboard, or you can just reach out to her and she'll direct you to where to go. You can create an account for your organization, and we will help to train you in a one-on-one Zoom session where we can kind of walk you through the tools. There's a whole admin side to the site that I'm not showing here, where you can post your opportunities, manage volunteer interest, and really get an overview of what's happening on the site. And we're here to, as somebody said, to spend as much time with you as you need talking about how to make this site work for your program, your volunteers, your needs, and really maximize it for the type of programs that you run, the type of volunteers you're looking for. We really want to make this a resource for you and make sure that it's helpful for you. So yeah, we're always here for training and ongoing technical help.
Great, thank you. And there's a question in the chat about whether Paladin has ideas about how to get lawyers to come to the site and utilize it. Any thoughts?
Yeah, that's a great question. Maybe, yeah, I'm sure other people can speak to this as well. I think just sharing the link, letting people know that this is available. It's a new resource, so there's always sort of a learning curve and just an awareness curve. So just letting people know that this is here, that it's a resource for them, that it will update in real time. So keep coming back, keep checking in, see what's available. And don't be afraid, I would say, as somebody who's not on the receiving end of the emails, I would say to attorneys, don't be afraid to express interest. Sometimes I think people are reluctant to reach out if they aren't 100% certain that this is something they could do, but I think if it seems like a good fit, reach out and talk to the referring organization, and they'll work with you. And they, because as as somebody said, recruitment, you want volunteers in your pipeline, and even if they're not right for this project, maybe they'll be right for another project. So just sort of encouraging folks to visit and not be shy about reaching out if they're interested in an opportunity. And then something else that you can do that may be helpful, I'll just click on something to show you. If you're looking to let people know that you're listing opportunities as an LSO on this site, if you click on your organization's name, it will take you to a page that is filtered to your organization. And you can copy the link and share that so that folks can come to the site and see opportunities from your organization. So it almost becomes like a case list or a project list for your organization specifically. And you can direct folks right to, here's what we are offering right now. Can you help us out at this clinic? Or just be aware that we're listing opportunities here and we're updating them periodically. So check back to see what's new. So this is kind of a way to zero in on specifically what your organization is doing and share the link with folks. But yeah, I would say awareness is just a big piece, just letting people know, because this is a new resource.
Another question about whether LSO should say if they provide malpractice insurance coverage. I know that some have indicated that in their narrative about the opportunity. Does Paladin have thoughts on that, or is there a specific place where they can indicate if coverage is provided?
Yeah, we don't have that currently. I believe that is in progress, that we are building a tool that will let you indicate that in your organizational account. So I think that will be coming soon. But yeah, you can definitely post it, in the opportunity description or anywhere where you list opportunities.
And on the page, the new to pro bono page, there's a section about malpractice insurance, and we do encourage LSOs to indicate one way or the other, especially if they do provide coverage, because I know that's a barrier for some folks, especially law students who may be doing something. So if you do provide that coverage, please indicate that, and I think that'll only help drive lawyers to your particular opportunity. There's another question about if there's a way to sign up for alerts, if there's a need posted in a particular category.
There's not currently a way to sign up for alerts, but I love the idea and I will bring it back to the product team.
And then also, can you talk about whether law firms can create their own accounts and how Paladin works with law firms on this type of a platform?
Yeah, definitely. So this is a public site. So there are no accounts on the site. Anybody can come and use the site. Anybody can express interest in opportunities. Paladin does work with law firms to sort of self-contained opportunity databases. So if a law firm is interested, they can definitely reach out to us, but this site is free to use for anybody. Whether you're at a law firm, solo practitioner, law student, anyone can come here and view the opportunities and express interest.
Great. Let's see. If your organization has different opportunities run by different staff, is it possible for individual opportunities to have different contacts within the organization as opposed to all interested emails going to one staff member?
Yeah, for that, I would say definitely reach out, and I can put the I'll put the email in the chat here. Definitely reach out to our LSO team and they'll be happy to talk through details of different program needs with more specificity.
Great. Other questions, feel free to keep typing in the chat or feel free to come off mute and ask questions that you may have. We'll give it a few minutes. In the chat though, I have put my email address in the info@successiontoservice.org email address that you can use if you would like an invitation to join the site. Go ahead and send me an email and we'll get you a direct invitation and get you onboarded as quickly as possible. I've also listed the ways that you can just access the site generally, which is either going to successiontoservice.org, which will redirect you to this site, or the site that you, or the website or the web address you see listed now, which is the app.joinpaladin.com/successiontoservice. So either of those options will get you to the site. And while folks may be thinking of additional questions, really our ask of you today is sign up. If you haven't signed up and you're an LSO, please join us first and foremost, but then also help us get the word out. We want to have this statewide impact. We're doing our best to reach folks as quickly as we possibly can about the opportunities that exist through this new platform, but we need your help. You all are so connected in the access to justice world and in the communities. Promote this to your peers, to your colleagues, promote this with the lawyers that you're currently working with. If you have a resource page on your website, please link to this site and let us know how we can support you in getting the word out about the opportunities that you're posting to the site as well. But this is going to take everybody kind of working grassroots and organically within your own networks to build this out. And that's our hope over the next several months, is that this will really become that one-stop shopping place for pro bono in Colorado. Any other questions? Going once? All right. Well, with that, again, I want to thank all of our speakers, Justice Hart, Emo, Dick, Tony Ann, Cass. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you so much to Paladin. And they've been such an incredible partner, and we're so excited to be working with them. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. My email, again, is in the chat. Just reach out directly. If you would like another walkthrough of this, let me know. We can set that up for you. But we are here to support you. We're here to make this successful for you. So let us know how we can do that. But thank you for the time today. Thank you for your support in these efforts. Keep checking the site, keep engaging with us, and we really appreciate everyone for being here and for the work that you do. So take care, everyone. Have a wonderful afternoon.